Hi everybody, blessings upon you today. We're going to be talking about past lives. I know it's always kind of a weird thing for everybody. It's like, oh my gosh, is it real? Is it not? Yeah, it's real. And yeah, you were there. These are the different ways for you to be able to understand what past life is about and how you recognize them. How you recognize that it has influence every day in your life here, in this lifetime too. We have a soul that travels from lifetime to lifetime. It's the same soul. It's still you, okay? So we come down into life and we have a certain task, a certain duty, a certain purpose to have, okay? But our soul's purpose, no matter what, our soul's purpose is to learn. It's to grow and it's to bring you back to the divine, okay? That's all its job is to do, is to bring you back, to return you home. So we come to lifetimes, we die, we go back up into spirit, then we create another lifetime so that we can come back down again and do more. And we progress and we get larger and better and more proficient at whatever we're doing, okay? Again, the soul is guiding us. It's not your personality, it's your soul that guides you to be more in your lifetime again, okay? So, with that said, some of the ways to recognize that you've been born before, that you've had time spent in lifetimes, is, let's say, a little kid, you know, a 4-year-old little kid actually has the ability to play war games, but he's good at it, or she's good at it, okay? There's different times where somebody will be attracted to the Native American spirits, and you don't know why. Sometimes you'll be attracted to the Asian community and you don't know why, because you're not Asian this lifetime, okay? So these direct influences start coming back into your life for you to recognize who you were in the past. With those that you recognize who you were in the past feels something that's inside of you in this lifetime too. Some people have a natural ability when they're young, they say, I just need to heal people, I just need to touch people, or I want to be a doctor when I get older. And they're so good at being a doctor that they don't even know what it's like to really go to medical school, except for they have to do this, right? So we have these natural abilities that we bring forward with us too. Some people have an ability to be able to cook and nobody taught them how to cook. Sometimes we are wanderers, we have to go walk, we have to go find our path somewhere. But it's a nature or a natural way of calling upon somebody, okay? It can be that you're interested in guns. It can be that you're interested in herbology. It can be that you're interested in the supernatural, UFOs. It doesn't really matter. It's just something that calls to your soul. For you to recognize that you've been there, okay? It's not something you made up and it's not something you learned in this lifetime. It's just something that exists inside of you, okay? I have a girlfriend, a very good friend of mine, and her son at 7 months old, was visiting me in a hotel. And I looked at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, where did he go? Okay, he's already walking, fully walking, and we go find him and he was in my bathroom in the hotel and he's sitting on the sink with my razor and he's pretending to shave like a man, like an adult man. There was no male adult forms in his lifetime at the time. The kid was just reliving an experience of who he was in the past. To this day, he's what, 20, right about 20 years old now, and he believes that he's been 34 since he's been 4 or 5 years old, okay? He has these abilities, he doesn't know what it is, but he's always been this older man, okay? He ropes, he rides, all this stuff that comes back from him being a cowboy in a past life, okay? He's just continuing it, he's just reliving it. Some people recognize and remember some of the things that happened to them. Like, I won't say his name, but somebody very dear and close to me, when he was little, he used to tell me of the ship that he passed away on. He was in the military, and this kid was 7 years old at the time, okay? He was in the military, and the ship was sunk. He remembers the captain, he remembers the names of all of the people, he remembers being washed overboard, and he remembers that he had to come back to this woman, this dear, dear, dear lady to him, that he promised her that he would return in another lifetime. So he became her grandson. And hence, she remembered. She remembered a long time ago when her brother left to go to the war. And he never returned. And he promised her that day that he would come back to her. And he did, as her grandson. So sometimes we have recognitions of people that we've been with in past lives too. Sometimes you meet somebody and you go, wow, I know you, okay? Or I remember seeing some guy one time and I'm like, oh, I killed you in a past life. That's not good. And he was like, are you going to kill me in this lifetime too? Like, no, I'm forbidden to kill. I'm not allowed to do that anymore. But are you going to kill me in this lifetime? Because that would be bad. He's like, no, we're good, right? So sometimes when we're in relationships with people, we recognize them so quickly. We just look at them and go, wow, I know you. It's like I've known you before, forever. Like I know you. There's no introduction. It's just an immediate recognition of that person. It comes in the form many times when it comes in relationships is in the eyes. You can see in their eyes. They look different, or they might look very similar. The kid that I was talking about that was washed overboard, if you look at his picture, before he left the military, it's identical. They look identical, okay? It was a number of years prior, but they look identical. So individuals that we recognize that we know, we also are governed by the past life or the way that we interact with each other. Sometimes we've been a parent to them. Sometimes they've been our grandfather. Sometimes we've been brothers and sisters. Sometimes we've been lovers and husbands and wives. It really depends on what you were doing with that soul at the time. So along with past lives is also, and I want to bring this into our conversation today because it will happen at a later date. We'll talk a little bit more about it. But it's also about soul lives, soul families. People that keep coming together over and over and over to do many wonderful things. We know each other. We work well together. Sometimes some people are witches. Some people are nuns and priests. Some people were in Auschwitz. Some people were Vikings. Some people were whatever the heck they were at the time, but they gravitate with the same people because they have the same purpose. They collect individuals along the way that they say, we work well together. We're cut from the same cloth. We were born all at the same time in God's vision and God's way. So we return to life so that we can do more of God's work. Okay? Or bad work. Either way, that happens too. So when you meet somebody that you've known in the past, or somebody that you might be married to, or your child, whatever it is right now, look instead of looking at who they are now, look further into it to go, how come I always feel like he's my dad? My husband acts like he's my dad, like my father, because that was the association before. Now he's your husband, so we have a new agreement, but we still contain the old agreements with us. We still bring that essence of who we were forward with us, okay? So when you have knowledge that's inexplainable, like you can't explain it at all, it just is. It's just present. When it just is and it's just present, that means that you already have learned it, you've already known it, you just brought it forward with you, okay? So you don't have to recall and remember all of your past lives, but if, let's say, you are attracted to Native American stuff, okay, and you buy it often or you decorate your home with it, okay, sit and listen to it. Listen to yourself over what the attachment is. How come you feel so loved or so warmed over that? Or why is it that you hate the water? Like, I'm afraid, deathly afraid of the water, and I can't do this. Okay? Why is that? Because nothing happened to you in this lifetime about it. It just still remains. It still is. Maybe you did drown. Maybe you're really afraid of snakes. But, you know, some people like snakes too. I'm just saying your fears, your desires, the places that feel warm inside of your being though too. The place that we feel connected, okay? Sometimes we also recall and remember different homes, different places in the world. Some people travel to Europe and go, oh my gosh, I just felt at home in Germany. Okay? Some people come to the United States, if you live someplace and you're like, oh my gosh, like I feel comfortable here. Or this is a really bad place for me, but nothing happened. Okay? It's the recalling, not the remembering, but the recalling of incidents that happened in past lives. Okay? It's always there. People just kind of poo-poo it. They're just like, whatever, you know, I'm just attracted to that type of thing. But that's not what it is. When you meet a best friend, you don't actually kind of need to interact and be with them. You don't have to learn them. All of a sudden you go, oh my gosh, I like this person, and we're gonna go do fun things together. Okay? People gravitate. Places, you gravitate back to the same places very, very, very often. Sometimes we have desire or dream to visit a foreign land, and we don't know why. Sometimes we want to go to Jerusalem, to Ireland, to Asia, wherever, okay? Because we must. We have to return. There's something that we were left recognizing there, that we yearn to go back, okay? So past lives are a real thing. I recall mine, okay? I can relive my past lives at any time that I need to. Even when I was a child, some honorary past lives, some great past lives, but I recognize them as such, okay? Also, I'll say something about my son, Devin. And when he was born, when I birthed him, I had this immediate overwhelming feeling of intimate love, like deep, deep core intimate love. And the second that I held him, he held my hand. And when I would breastfeed him throughout, you know, the first year and a half, he would always hold my hand. To this day, my son still holds my hand. We'll walk someplace and he'll grab my hand, hey mom, you know, but it was the holding of a hand. That was from a past life because we were lovers at the time. And he had his hand removed in that lifetime. And it just recognizes every single solitary time when he holds my hand that we're still together, that we're still fine, that he chose me in this lifetime again and again, and I keep bringing him back with me too. So certain little things just like that can recall where you've been. It can recall where you've been, who you've been with. But it's this overwhelming recognition of that other soul. Okay? You might, again, poo-poo it and go, huh, that's crazy and weird. It's like, no, it's there for a reason. It's teaching you, it's showing you how important these people are. Okay? It's showing you where you've been and your journey and where you're going. So giving you just these little pieces of recognizing that you've been here many, many, many times. Hopefully you'll start recognizing it even more. Talk to your mates, talk to your children. Look at your children and go, and this, it's so interesting because so many people think that they should be so overwhelmed with their children. I'm not saying that you shouldn't love them, that's not what I'm saying. But sometimes you just look at the kid and go, I have no idea where this kid came from. Like, is it yours? Is it mine? Like, yeah, I've never recognized this soul before. Sometimes in relationships, like sisters, you might not like each other, okay? But you're here to work something out. Sometimes, I know this sounds just horrible to say, but I do know people that look at their children and go, I don't like this child. Like, they don't like the child at all. But that means because something happened in the past, okay? Something happened in the past. It also means that when we dislike somebody or we like somebody instantly, we still know them, right? Sometimes we have to work things out. Sometimes we have to find out why we don't like them. What did they do to us? What did we do to them? Okay? So Past lives are real. Look at your soul. Look at who you are. We have young souls and we have old souls. And this is how I will finish. Young souls come in. They've only been in lifetimes very, very, very short periods of time. Okay? They don't know much. They take. They always want. Gimme, 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 gimme. Oh, it hurts. I can't tie my shoe. It's too hard. Okay? Or you have the old souls that look at people and they carry, I'm telling you, they carry this joy and this sadness at the same time in their soul. They carry burden. They carry responsibility and karma. They also carry awareness of other humans, of bad things that have happened in the past, when we've killed each other, or when our tribe has been slaughtered. Okay? We remember and we recall those things, and it fills our soul with such love and compassion. It makes us more and happier and fuller, but we want to serve. It's about our service to humanity, so that these things don't happen anymore. So the Holocaust, for God's sake, doesn't happen anymore. It's about joining together over and over and over and over again to unite all of our souls in happiness and God's love. May you all be blessed today.